Most people go through life without wondering, following a script already written, without realizing that there is something much greater happening behind the scenes. But a select group, a small fraction of humanity, feels things are not that simple. Have you ever had the feeling that you don't belong to this world the way it is? Have you noticed spiritual signs, synchronicities, or spells that are confirmed? If so, you may be part of the 1% that carries invisible but powerful brands. The truth is that not everyone is ready to see beyond the surface. While many ignore the signs, others feel an irresistible call to something greater. But beware, this journey is not easy. Those who carry these brands face challenges, undergo trials, and often follow a lonely path. However, this path also brings transformative discoveries and a spiritual connection that few understand. And here is something nobody told you. These marks do not appear for nothing. They are evidence that you have a greater purpose, a life mission that goes beyond what you taught for you. But are you really one of the chosen ones? How to know if you have these rare characteristics? The answer can change the way you see your own existence. If you have gotten here, it is because something within you recognizes this truth. So get ready, because what you are about to find out can explain a lot about who you really are and why you have felt everything you have felt to this day. From an early age, the chosen ones realize that something in them does not fit the standard. While others seem to sail for life without question, they feel that there is something deeper behind the daily routine. It is that feeling of looking around and realizing that the way they see the world is not the same as most. Perhaps they have questioned meaningless rules in childhood or meaning a strong intuition guiding them, even without understanding exactly where. From an early age, they carry this invisible brand that distinguishes them, even without knowing how to explain why. This can generate a sense of loneliness, because as much as they try to fit in, something within them does not conform. While some are content with superficial answers, they long to understand the essence of life. Why do certain standards repeat? What is the true purpose of all this? These questions surround their minds early on, making it difficult to follow the flow without reflecting deeply. But this restlessness, which may seem like a burden, is actually a sign of spiritual awakening, a silent call that few recognize. The extreme sensitivity of these individuals also contributes to this differentiated perception. They feel the vibrations of the environment, capture alien emotions, and often know things before they are even said. Have you ever entered a place and felt a heavy energy without knowing why? Have you ever had a strong feeling about someone or a situation? This is no coincidence. It is part of this sharper spiritual connection that makes them more intuitive and perceptive. And precisely for this reason, they end up walking a lonely path. Not by choice, but because not everyone is prepared to see what they see. Banal conversations seem empty, the routine seems meaningless, and the need to find something bigger becomes increasingly evident. But this journey, however challenging, is also an opportunity for deep growth. And gradually they begin to realize that there is something guiding them, subtle signs, unexpected encounters, synchronization, almost as if the universe whisper, "You are on the right track." The chosen ones, sooner or later, realize that their way is not the same as most. While society is walking at a predictable pace, following pre-established rules and expectations, they feel a natural resistance to fit. Not because they think themselves better, but because they just can't ignore the feeling that there is something beyond the surface. This can lead to a certain isolation, as your ideas, perceptions, and questions do not find echo in everyday conversations. After all, how to explain to someone who feels the energy of an environment or whose spells are always confirmed? This isolation, however, is not a punishment, but a necessary process for self-knowledge. When there are no external distractions trying to shape them, they turn inward and begin to understand each other at a deeper level. This is where the true spiritual connection arises. Some find answers in meditation, others through writing, nature, or even in times of absolute silence. This lonely journey is not a burden, it is an invitation to wake up. And who accepts this invitation begins to notice that even alone, it is never really alone. The curious thing is that, even following a different path, his presence never goes unnoticed. Those who cross with him feel that there is something special, something that cannot be explained in words. Some feel inspired, some uncomfortable, as if they were facing a mirror that reflects what they avoid seeing. This can generate various reactions, from admiration to resistance. But anyway, the energy that emanates always leaves an invisible brand that surrounds them. Over time, the chosen ones learn to find their true tribe. It may take years, it may seem that it will never happen, but when you least expect it, the universe aligns encounters that make sense. People who share the same sensitivity, the same search for purpose, begin to emerge. And that's where they realize the path can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be lonely forever. Because those who vibrate at the same frequency, sooner or later, end up meeting. The chosen ones not only see the world differently, they feel it with overwhelming intensity. While most go through the days without realizing the energies around, they absorb every emotion, every vibration, every subtle change in the environment. It is as if their spiritual antennas are always capturing invisible signs that others simply ignore. This extreme sensitivity can be a gift, allowing a deep connection with people and situations, but can also be a burden when it is not known how to deal with it. Being in a crowded place, for example, can be an exhaustive experience. They feel the weight of the emotions of others, absorb the energy of the environment, and often come more tired than they entered. Sometimes a conversation with someone laden with negativity to drain them completely. Have you ever felt a tightness in your chest for no apparent reason? Or an inexplicable anguish after talking to someone? These are clear spiritual signs that your energy is being impacted by what is around you. Protecting yourself is essential. Creating energy cleaning rituals such as herbal baths, meditation, or simply spending time in nature can help restore balance. Practices such as carrying a protective crystal, such as black tourmaline, or mineralizing a light bubble around the body are simple but powerful strategies. Also, choosing carefully with those who share their energy is an act of self-knowledge and self-esteem. Not everyone deserves access to their purest vibration. Over time, the chosen ones learn to transform this sensitivity into inner strength. Instead of just absorbing, they start filtering. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, they learn to use this keen intuition in their favor. And by mastering this ability, they realize that this sensitivity does not make them vulnerable. On the contrary, it makes them extremely powerful. Because those who understand the energies around them also learn to shape them. There are times in the lives of the chosen ones that everything seems to be crumbling, but somehow something prevents them from falling completely. It is as if an invisible force were always there, guiding them silently. This divine protection can manifest itself in many ways. Sudden intuitions that avoid bad situations, coincidences that seem impossible, or even meetings with people who bring exactly the message they needed to hear. For those who watch from the outside, it may seem lucky. For them, it's synchronicity. This spiritual connection is strengthened as they learn to rely more on their own intuition. How many times did they feel a feeling and ignored, just then realized they were right? This type of experience is not random. It is a reminder that your sensitivity is a reliable compass. One of the greatest challenges of the chosen is to learn to distinguish the fear of true intuitive orientation. Fear paralyzes, but intuition whispers subtly and accurately. Over time, they begin to perceive the spiritual signs around them. It could be a sequence of repeated numbers, an animal that comes up at a significant moment, or even a song that plays at the exact time, bringing a hidden message. These details may seem irrelevant to many, but for those awake, they are clear clues that there is something bigger in action. Everything is connected, and nothing happens by chance. The chosen ones, even when they feel lost, are never really alone. There is a constant orientation, even if not visible to the naked eye. Sometimes this force manifests itself through a revealing dream, sometimes through an inexplicable sense of peace in the midst of chaos. The secret is to learn to listen, to trust, and to follow these signs. because the more they connect with this energy, the lighter the path becomes. The chosen ones may even try to go unnoticed, but their energy never allows. There is something about them that catches the eye, even when they don't want to. Some are attracted to this differentiated vibration, while others are bothered without even knowing why. It is as if your simple presence worked like a mirror, reflecting truths that many prefer to ignore. This can generate both admiration and resistance, as not everyone is prepared to deal with the authenticity and intensity they carry. Often this magnetic energy manifests itself in subtle forms. It can be that deep look that seems to see beyond words, the way they impact an environment just entering it, or the feeling that even in silence they say a lot. Some people feel inexplicably comfortable by their side, while others, even for no apparent reason, move away. This is because your vibration not only illuminates, but also exposes, and not everyone is ready for it. This striking presence can be a challenge. In conventional environments, they can be seen as too different or too intense. But this difference is exactly what makes them special. Instead of trying to fit in, the chosen ones learn to accept this feature as part of their life mission. They are not here to shape the world, they are here to transform it. And this transformation begins precisely because they are authentic, even when it causes discomfort in others. Over time, they realize that they do not need to decrease their light to please. Who is in the same vibration will recognize and value this presence. Who is not will move away, and this is also part of the process. The energy of the chosen acts as a natural filter, keeping only those who really resonate with their essence. And in accepting this, they discover something powerful. They don't have to look for true connections. They just happen at the right time and in the right place. The chosen ones carry a burden that few understand. They see beyond the obvious. They perceive invisible patterns and understand truths that many would prefer to ignore. While most are content with superficial explanations, they question, investigate, and deconstruct rooted beliefs. This can be lonely because not everyone wants to hear the truth, especially when she challenges her comfortable certainties. And so, they are often seen as strangers, exaggerated, or even inconvenient. This ability to see reality more broadly comes at a price. It is difficult to watch the world working so automatically, to realize how many live in illusions and feel that, no matter how much they try, they cannot force anyone to wake up. Have you tried to explain something deep to someone who just doesn't want to understand? This frustration is common among those who carry a higher level of consciousness. They know that each one has their own time to wake up, and trying to open someone's eyes ahead of time is useless. But this different perception also brings great power. The chosen ones develop a keen instinct to perceive lies, hidden intentions, and dissonant energies. They often feel when something is not right, even without concrete evidence. This sharp intuition protects them from falling into traps and helps them make decisions aligned with their purpose. And over time, they realize that this knowledge is not a weight, but a tool to navigate the world more clearly and safely. Still, dealing with this truth can be exhaustive. At many times, they need to choose between talking what they know or simply silent to avoid unnecessary conflicts. It is not always easy to find those who share this expanded view, but when they find it, the connection is instant, because deep down they know they're not alone. There are others who feel the same, who perceive the same spiritual signs and understand that this knowledge is not a burden, but a responsibility. The chosen ones go through trials that would make many give up, but somehow always find the strength to move on. Life seems to test them constantly, placing challenges that require not only resistance, but also a deep personal transformation. Each fall teaches them something. Every difficulty sculpts its inner strength. They learn in practice that pain is not just suffering. It is also a portal for self-knowledge. And it is this resilience that differentiates them. What keeps them firm, even in the most difficult times, is their spiritual connection. They feel inexplicably that they are not alone. When everything seems lost, subtle signs arise, synchronicities that indicate that the universe is listening. A book that appears at the right time, a person who brings an unexpected message, a feeling that guides them to a crucial decision. Life whispers to those who are attentive, and the chosen ones know how to interpret these signs. This resilience does not mean absence of pain, but the ability to rebuild after each storm. They do not avoid challenges. Learn from them. When a door closes, they understand that something bigger is coming. When something does not come out as expected, they know that there is a hidden purpose. This perspective prevents them from surrendering to despair, because they understand that everything has a reason, even if it is not visible at the moment. Over time, they realize that each battle prepared them for something bigger. All pains, all losses, all uncertainties were steps that raised them to a deeper level of consciousness. And it is this journey that turns them into headlights for others that are still lost. Not only do they exceed challenges, they become alive examples that it is possible to be reborn as many times as necessary. Because those who are spiritually connected are never truly alone. If you identified with these marks, then your journey is much deeper than you thought. But the big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to ignore the signs and keep trying to fit where you don't belong? Or will you accept your true nature and use this sensitivity, intuition, and inner strength to transform your life and the lives of others? The answer is in your hands. The world needs people like you, but the awakening doesn't happen alone. You need to strengthen your spiritual connection, learn to interpret the signs, and trust your foreboding more. Begin by observing the synchronicities around you, testing your intuition, and seeking knowledge that deepens your understanding of your life mission. Nothing you felt to this day has been by chance. It's all part of your way. Now I ask you, are you ready to take this role and live authenticity? Or will you keep ignoring the calls that the universe has sent you? The choice is yours. But one thing is certain. After all you have seen here, you will never look at your life the same way. If this content has made sense to you, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. Here you will always find deep knowledge about spirituality, awakening, and self-knowledge. You are not alone on this journey, and together, we will unravel every sign that the universe has to reveal.